infield. We ready, it's time. It's nothing but hustle inside of the huddle. You know that I grind. A dangerous mind, a weapon of choice when pushing the line. Go overtime and I won't break when it's crunch time. My end game is number one. Bet it all, give me my cash. Supreme game, can't stop it. Take off like a rocket. Break it back, don't bend mine. I'm the one now, you can't hide. Legendary like legacy. This is our moment, our time. This is our moment. This is our time. Time is now. It's time to rise. This is our moment. This is our time. The time is now. It's time to rise. Yeah. Coming for glory. We ready for war. The city's behind us. We giving you more. We ready whenever. The world is watching. The time is now. No other option. No other way. Play to win the way that we play. Destined for greatness, born to be great, ahead of the game. In front of the pack, leading the way, it's time to reign. The kingdom's here, this is our year. Been to the bottom, ain't nothing to fear, we running the game. Rushing the field for every yard, on every play. Nobody's safe, rise when we fall, but never stay down. The champs is here, doing it for the 10. This is our moment, this is our time. The time is now, it's time to rise. This is our moment, this is our time. Time is now, time to rise. It's time to rise. This is our time. It's our moment. It's our time. Feeding the dirt, nose to the grind. Like the crack of dawn, you can't stop the shine. Moment after moment, day after day. It's our time. Lock and loaded, it's time for war. Ha! Tear it down, kick in the door. Yeah, I want it all, give me some more. Ha! I want it all, give me some more. I want it all, give me some more. Yeah. Kill them all, it's time for war. It's time for war. Like pandemonium, I set it off. Sacrifice, I bear the cross. Legendary, I'm a big dog. Hard knock on the front line. Pure blood, my bloodline. Headshots the first time. My aim good, bullseye. Warfare. Don't play fair, don't play fair. You not sure? Don't go there, I'm right here. No fear, I'm ready to go at top speed. No brick wall can block me. No army can stop me. Yeah, I want it all and I can't lose. I came far and I won't stop. This my time, I pay dues. Yeah, it's wartime and I won't retreat. I want it all, give me some more. I kill them all, won't taste defeat. Nah. Now bow down at the king's feet. It's time for war. I want it all, give me some more. Kill them all, it's time for war. Kill them all, it's time for war. It's time for war.
We're good, as long as you stay there.
All right, we'll do the best I can here.
Hey everybody, it's your buddy KR. We're here at the historic Devil's Bowl Speedway, 9th annual Lone Star 600. These two good-looking gentlemen that are matching in their outfits, and that's impressive, fellas. Brad Dix and Jack Barfield, the brains behind this entire Lone Star 600, guys. First of all, thank you for letting me be here. This is an awesome event, but we got a big audience across the world watching this right now. Like I'm just telling you, there's a lot of people watching. Tell us a little bit of the back history. We're at the 9th annual this year, but kind of tell us where this all started and kind of the progression to get us here today.
Well, where it started is I was at a big show about 10 years ago and I didn't qualify. And when I showed up, I thought I was pretty fast, but I realized I wasn't. So I spent a lot of money and went home, watched a bunch of B-mains and so forth. So I said, you know what? I talked to Jack and said, man, we need a race where if you pay your entry, you're in the money. So I was like, well, what can we do? And then I was like, well, some of these other shows, by the time I ran Alphabet Soup, J-Main, all the way through a B-Main, didn't qualify, I figured, heck, I run about 250, 300 laps. So why don't we just throw one race together and run 300 laps at one time, separate the men from the mice, and start everybody. And then the other thing we started talking, what's wrong with racing? Nothing's wrong with racing, it's all great. I like all forms of it, but then I didn't like cautions. So I was like, well, why don't we just get rid of that? So we decided to just get rid of cautions altogether. So pretty much we throw about 150 cars out there, we throw a green, and if you're upside down, on fire, in immediate danger, we'll throw a red. We got about $500,000 worth of records out here. It's a show within itself. We're gonna grab you off. You know, one of the things, not knocking other tracks, but I see an old beat up tractor, barely runs, hooking up a car, getting it off. We like to get this show on the road. It's going to be an awesome event. I hope nobody wrecks. But when it does, the push truck, he'll be out there, the wreckers, it's a show within itself. They're going to get them off, get them out of there. But we wanted to run a streamlined show and run 300 laps in about 2 hours and 40 minutes. You know, I think it's about what we do, and we just wanted to do something different, so we did.
Well, I think that's a great summary. Now, I kind of feel personally attacked when you're talking about B-mains and cautions, because I was that guy for a lot of years. So, Jack, a little bit about what you do. It's kind of fun watching you guys work. You know, it's like you know what to do, and you see y'all running everywhere. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing. I see him up kind of getting the race started. You run around like a banty rooster half the night, just crazy, and it's fun to watch you. But what are you doing? You kind of just disappear in the crowd, but I know what you're doing is important.
Yeah, we're going around and getting the pits lined out is a massive overtaking. I was out here till 4 a.m. parking people. So we get done with that. People sneak in, you move them around, just random stuff. But as you can see in the background, there's a line of toters and motorhomes coming in right now. Yep. So we'll have that going on during the race, where we have two radios, one that people can listen to and one people don't want to listen to, because it's not the same information there. But we have to chase parts and pieces and just get everybody lined out.
Well, it is kind of an interesting dynamic. You briefly touched on it, Brad. I want to talk about one thing that impressed me last year, Brandon. You're a record driver, maybe the craziest guy in the field, because he's out there running 300 laps with them. He's weaving in, weaving out, you know, moving. Tell us a little bit about that guy and how important he is to the show.
Well, he used to drive a dirt late model for me. Name's Brian Stipe. He's a phenomenal wheel man, family man, so he slowed down on the racing. And when I created this deal, I said, hey, we need a push truck out there that'll get out and race with them. So we're like, okay, well, things were a little tight. I had an extra truck. It was actually one of my personal trucks that we converted over in 2004. This is our 9th annual, so he almost runs 300 laps with the guys, so it's 300 times 4. That push truck's logged in almost about 30, it'll log in about 3,500 laps after this.
And we got one real important rule. You hit the push truck, we get your car for a push car.
Yeah, that's one of the things we started back in the day. If you hit the push truck, I keep your car. I've been a kind of light on it because some have hit the push truck. No one's hit it intentionally. I tell everybody it's got enough lights on it. If you hit the push truck, maybe your career should be done, because if you can't see it, that thing's lit up like a Christmas tree. But the push truck is a phenomenal part of it, because when you're stuck out there, like I say, we don't throw a caution. when you feel that tap in the back bumper,
It's time to go.
It's time to go. All of a sudden, you know. But then one time we had, I think, Corey Neal. I think he did a couple laps faster. I was like, hey, Corey, it's time to pull off. You know, he was like, well, his push truck gonna save me. Not all the way, Corey. But no, he did a good job. And the guys do a phenomenal job. After the 9th year, a lot of these guys are returns. They're phenomenal drivers. I mean, people say, oh, I'm not going to bring my car, I'll tear my car up. We got guys that this is their 5th and 6th year on the same car.
Yeah.
There's one car out here that won the first 600 we've ever had, and it's back out here for the 9th one. So as far as getting your car torn up, yeah, accidents happen, but this is some of the cleanest driving you're going to see. And I'm partial to it, but I've been to a lot of races this year, and I've seen a lot. I'm telling you, these guys are clean.
Well, let me ask you this, not switching gears, but kind of switching gears. I want to hear both of your input, and I'll start with you, Jack. But last year, one thing I noticed, nobody was aggravated. Nobody was upset. Like, tell us how y'all created this atmosphere, because it's probably one of the coolest atmosphere in any kind of motorsports in the country. Everybody's having a good time. They're coming in from all over the country. Strangers park next to each other. And yeah, I mean, when I walked up to talk to some of them last year, they act like there's kinfolk. You know, like, what have y'all done to kind of create that atmosphere to build this event?
One of the biggest things we do is we meet and greet every driver when they come through that gate. We shake hands with everybody. We meet their wife, their kids, their family members. We go in the stands and talk to people. So we are personally attached to everybody in this pits, on the track, in the race. It kind of eases a little bit of the tension. And the race itself, we go back to the streamlining. Every rule we have is on a Whataburger napkin from one day when we rode it. And that's it, one napkin.
And the other thing, and promoting's a tough job. I get it. Me and Jack are a little bit advantaged because we don't promote a weekly deal, but we answer our phone every day of the year.
Except that one.
Except that one, yeah. Somebody got a question for me right quick. But we're always available, and the one thing, kind of like yourself, and there's several other great promoters in Texas and all around, you have to be available.
Right.
I'm riding around. I don't hide out. You can find me at any time. Like Jack says, we actually got a relationship with these people. I know their kids. We've been doing it for 9 years, so some people, you know, have gotten a little ill. Some I've seen babies born, and now they're 7 years old. Kids that were toddlers are now racing. So we kind of actually get to know their families, and we consider them a family. It's kind of this race has turned into a deal, but it's also kind of like a Big Race Promotions family reunion now.
Well, it is a good atmosphere. That's one thing I was talking to Chris last year in the tire about. I was like, man, it's an incredible atmosphere. I wish we had more of it that way. And we're going to go and kind of wrap this up. I think we gave a good overview. Like, for anybody that can make it out, obviously want to get them here. But if they can't make it out, like, give me a quick 30-second rundown of what they can expect tonight and tomorrow night for the 600 this year.
They can expect a heck of a show from their couch on Race on Texas. Race on Texas will be broadcasting. If you can't make it out, I strongly encourage you to get it on Race on Texas both days. Enjoy it. We will have good weather out here. But guys, I know I got a lot of friends on the Facebook, and there's people from all over. I know there's a lot of friends that I got from out of state. I encourage each and every one of you to tune in on Race on Texas. It's a heck of a deal. You can't beat it. Turn off the other Netflix and all that other good stuff and tune into this and be entertained, because we're doing it for you guys.
Well, Jack, I want to thank you and Brad both for taking time to do it. I know you're busy. We're going to let you go. Folks, we'll be right back here in just a second. We got a second segment. You're not going to want to miss it. I'm excited about it. Like he said, if you can't make it out to the historic Devil's Bowl Speedway tonight or tomorrow, Race on Texas will have every live lap for you. We'll be back in a few. Race fans, we're back here live at the Devil's Bowl Speedway. Man, look at this cast of characters that showed up. Billy Melzell, we know you from the Infield Tractor Tire. Hot Carl's Chassis, Texarkana, Texas. Now, you're not on the Arkansas ride, right? You're on the Texas side.
Texas side.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I knew me and you had a similar accent, so I knew it was close. But guys, real quick, man, social media is crazy with you guys. Like, thanks for all you're doing on that. But this event specifically, what is it that drags you guys and gets you so excited to be here? Billy, we'll start with you.
Man, it's just a great atmosphere. You don't have to worry about cheating, really. If you want to cheat at this race, you got to try hard.
Yeah.
And I've tried hard a few times, you know. But it's great, man. I can pull stuff out of the weeds off the shelf that's been, you know, sitting there for years and throw a car together and come out here and make as many laps as I can muster, you know. And I don't know, it's my favorite race of the year, and I can't get enough of it, really. We wait for it every year.
Well, Hot Carl, like I know this time of year, you probably get a lot of orders on, you know, rehabbing cars, new orders for your new stuff at the chassis shop. So what is it about you that you devote the whole week of not making a living to come down here and see us at the Devil's Bowl Speedway?
Well, I came down as a spectator 3 years in a row. This is my 4th year here. I got a $40,000 race car at home with a $20,000 engine, and I knocked the rear clip off of that, racing for $600 to win. You know, I'm looking at all these old used up race cars that people say aren't good enough to race anymore, and so I got a 2009 Larry Shaw for free. I took all the junk parts out of my shop that aren't good enough to race anymore, and I put together a car in 3 weeks. It's here. I told Brad Dixon, I said last year, I said, Brad, I'm bringing my own stuff next year. I usually just come and drink beer and have fun with the boys, so it's going to be unusual for me because I can't drink any beer today, but I will be drinking tonight. But yeah, I just...
Don't get out of the race early so you can drink beer.
Tito was already in the cooler. I said, Tito, stay out of there. So, but it's a cool deal because, you know, we race with really expensive cars for not a lot of money, and this is the exact opposite. And the other thing that drew me to this is there's let's face it, we're not spring chickens anymore. I'm 47 years old, and what I see is a lot of older dudes here that didn't want to race weekly anymore, didn't have the time or the money, and you can come here, you can get a full year's worth of racing in 2 nights. It's 300 laps a night, and a lot of the older guys I talk to, they say, I get all my racing done that I want to do for the entire year. I get it done in 1 weekend, so I'm going to try it. And that $40,000 roller might be for sale if I like this, and I'll just roll around with my shit box and do this once a year because this is a cool deal. If you haven't been here, you should watch it tonight, stream it. Race on Texas has got it. It's a cool deal, and I love the people. I got Richie Demons hat on. He's from California. And when I get here and I see all the people that I got to know over the last 3 years, it's like family. We're bear hugging each other, drinking beer, and then we race and have fun. And it's a real cool deal.
Well, you said something that I'm attracted to. You know, we've got a racetrack and we do things, and the cars kind of start to look the same. You come here, and everything's so different. Now, Billy, like, you've always got creative. I think last year Bush Latte might have rode with you for most of the night.
It held on. It's still on there.
It did. It was impressive. But like that's got to be for me as a race fan when I don't have to put on an event. Like, it's nice to see the Camaros and the ingenuity and stuff. Like, what is it? What are y'all trying to accomplish? Once this race is over, you got 365 to get ready to get. What are you doing? Kind of tell us what the off season, the build season's like on this deal after you run 600 laps to get ready for the next year.
Well, usually we wait to the last minute. But we try to, you know, just freshen stuff up because you do put a lot of wear and tear on your car in a weekend. So you go back and you freshen everything up the best you can. Upgrades, you know, something to make the car better. It's always, you know, that's something you always want to do. And the good thing about this race is, like I said, you can't cheat. Yeah. So try something. Throw something in that thing to, you know, make it hook up better, make it turn better. You know, put 2 shocks on every wheel. Who cares? You know. So that's something we like doing. We just, you know, we'll go and test. I got the wagon. I'd run it as a street stock mostly, and I'll run it some and try something out. If I'm at the track with it, I'm testing something. So.
Well, you know, you said something too just now, Carl. It's interesting. You got a free chassis. You went through the shop and you liquidated everything that really didn't have a value anymore in life. That's now right. You're going to down here and compete. So like if you had to take a stab in the dark, because I think you're an open and honest guy, what kind of money do you think you got involved in this car if you had to put a price tag on it?
Well, you know, a lot of the parts are, like I said, they're free to me because they've been laying around. You know, I did have to buy a crate engine. I'm gonna have to eat chow on that because
hang on, you did what?
I got a little 602 crate, and I like it because you get close to the starter button, she fires right up, sounds good. So, you know, honestly, I think you can build a car for $4,000 or $5,000 and come out here and you know, I got stacks and stacks of brand new tires that I heat cycled once, and you can only run those tires one time in my big car because they say after they've been heat cycled they're junk. I got 30 fresh, one night old tires, and but I think, you know, sky's the limit. Racers, we're guilty of it. There's a lot of nice cars here that I know people got a lot of money into, but my car, you know, I think honestly I probably have, after buying the engine and transmission and that type of stuff, I probably got $6,000 to $7,000 in it.
Well, that's pretty good when you look at potential leaving out of here with $25,000.
What the fuck was that about?
You good, buddy?
It's probably not the last time I'll get hit tonight.
Well, I guess that just kind of pre-race kind of gets you started or whatever.
That's got to be one of them dirty drivers that's out there.
I'm glad he's just on the gator, not in a car. I'd hate to see what he'd do. But back to what you were saying there, it's an affordable way. And then you look at the purse payout and stuff. It's an attractive event. I mean, I know racers. Well, none of us race for money. Like, let's just be honest with you. But $10,000 to win tonight in a $6,000 car. If you win tonight, Carl, you got your investment back. You made some money. Like Billy, like we talked to you last year on the front straightaway, man. It was probably one of the better runs you've had in this deal, and you were pretty excited. And you told me back then, you said we're going to see you again in 2022 at the 9th annual. So what's the process? What did we do different? What's the mindset going into the tonight's 300 for you?
Well, last year I actually had the wrong gear in the car, so I was running about a quarter-mile gear on this half-mile, and I was having to let out coming out the corners and stuff, and I had to totally change the way I usually drive, which is way over my head is how I usually drive. So I had to back off and be a lot more patient and conservative, and it changed my mindset on how I'm going to run it this year, at least so far. Once I get in the seat, it might change a little bit, but every year I learn better and I learn more, and I become a better driver. You know, you get a chance to learn how to drive something that ain't handling worth of shit. It's going to help you weekly too, you know. So.
Well, we're going to wrap this thing up, but real quick, Carl, Billy, tell us about your social media outlets, merchandise. Tell the folks at home right quick how they can find you and get a hold of your stuff.
Facebook is my main outlet. I do a little bit of TikTok, but yeah, there's a merch store on my Facebook. You can link there. Buy some swag. That's how I pay for diesel to get my shit box down here, so thank you.
All my infield tractor tire stuff's Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. I got Snapchat. I think I got a link still on pretty much all my page. Yeah, I actually got OnlyFans. If you want to see anything else, and then I got my merch stores on Shopify, and that's about it. And we got a bunch of shit for sale over here at the trailers too.
Well, folks, get out and see them. If you can't get here, check out their socials. Hot Carl, Infield Tractor Tire. Thank you guys. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back to close up the pre-race show for the 9th annual Lone Star 600.
Maybe we won't get hit again.
Doing this 35 years and it's just incredible.
You got 180 cars on the track all at the same time for 300 laps. What can't be fun to watch about that?
This race is different than probably any dirt race you've ever seen.
It's awesome. It's the best race you'll see. It's interesting. It's different. There's action all over the track no matter where you look.
If you can't make it here, guys, watch it live on Race On Texas.
A little shorter on this one.
Yeah, I'm going to introduce you and then you talk. I'm leaving. Yeah. We're back for the final time here at the pre-race kickoff show for the Lone Star 600, folks. My buddy, Chris David, co-owner, co-founder, kind of the go-to guy when Harry's not around, kind of guy for Race On Texas. Man, what an event y'all been a part of here, helping stream it and put this out into the audience. Man, tell us what this event means to Race On Texas.
KR, thanks for asking. It's huge. We've been doing this show with Brad and Jack since the beginning, and it's one of those shows that we are passionate about. We love what these guys have put together. We've been with them from the beginning. You know, we do more than just the broadcast. We help with the scoring and the video loops and things like that. So the 600 is almost like a a vacation that we come out to every year, and this will be our biggest broadcast that we've ever done in the history of Race on Texas. 350 live shows this year, and this show will be the biggest.
Well, that's awesome. I know from experience last year, I was up in the booth watching you guys work. A lot more goes into this. Most people don't realize that. There's a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff, but tell us quickly, like you're talking about the scoring and stuff aspect of it. You got people, like, explain how the scoring works. That's the number one question I get. How do you know who wins?
Right, so, when the drivers have a scorekeeper, and that scorekeeper is logging the laps with a timer that is mounted on the front stretch. So when you watch tonight, you'll see that timer clicking away, and every time their car comes by, they write that time down in the appropriate lap circle or square. And there's 300 squares. Got to get to 300 laps each night to win it. And what we do then is we take those scorecards and we compare them with our cameras. There's a camera pointing right at the clock. So if you wrote that you passed the start finish line at 4:37 on the clock, we go back and look and make sure that you're there. And if we don't see you, well, then Brad and Jack make the call on the DQ. So it is a very honest system. We really, really enforce it, and we look over those scorecards. That's why you don't know who the winner is for probably about 30 minutes afterwards, because we take the time to do that. So that's just one of the things that we do.
Yeah, no, it's a cool event, man. This facility is a great layout. They can see it behind us here. Infield's going to be packed tonight. Pits are going to be packed tonight. We talked in the first couple, and I'm going to ask you the same question, man. What is it about the atmosphere? How have y'all created this kind of atmosphere at a dirt track in the United States where people aren't mad, they're having a good time? I mean, this is like college football tailgating to me.
It is. It's got a vibe where everyone's having fun. I think Billy said it the other day. The best is that the guy next to you, you're not racing him. You're racing the clock. So you're out there trying to keep your car clean, and it creates a camaraderie type of effect. Guys are helping each other. If you come out here tomorrow in the pits, you're going to see guys thrashing on stuff, helping each other, loaning each other parts, and so it's a really cool event. And to see how many people from how many states come. I mean, we've got a driver from Australia this year. Yeah. So we've had Canada represented before. I talked to California and Oregon. So they all come here, and it's a big weekend party is what it really is.
It is. Well, you're kind of leading into that. Let's talk about that real quick. We got people from all over the world here in Mesquite, Texas, Devil's Bowl Speedway this weekend. If their family can't make it with them, how's the best way for them to catch every live lap here on Race on Texas?
Absolutely. So raceontexas.com will have the complete live broadcast of the entire 600. You'll catch every lap, both nights, and you can sign up at raceontexas.com and buy an all-access subscription. That all-access subscription gets you access to everything, just like in the name. So all of our live shows, race replays, behind-the-scenes content. But if, let's just say you're not from Texas, you're from Oregon, and you don't really want to catch all the racing that's happening at Arklatex or whatever other tracks that we cover, you can buy this as a pay-per-view only event. So you have two purchase options to watch the race tonight. We encourage them to go online to raceontexas.com, buy whatever package you want to buy to watch the race, and then you can log in on a Roku. We have a Roku app. Just type in Race on Texas and then log in, and you'll be able to purchase will show up there, or on the iOS, on the Apple iPhone, or iPad. So sign up on the website first, then jump on. Tony and the guys, we've got a huge crew here this weekend. They're going to put on a great show for y'all. I believe Tony said we have 8 cameras set up. We've got in-car cameras. We're going to have instant replay. So it's going to be an event to watch it, too. So it's definitely something, if you can't be here, we encourage you to tune in. Your subscription or purchase helps this event. So it's no different than coming here and buying a pit pass or buying a general admission seat. And I encourage people to come out of the general admission. If you live in the Mesquite area, this is a great show. It's only $15 to get in. Kids under 48 inches are free, and we're doing something cool this year with the kids. The first 60 kids in the front gate each night, they're going to get a commemorative racing duck, and we've got numbers on the bottom of those ducks, and we're going to give away some gift cards to Roblox, Fortnite, all that stuff that you play when you're at home, right?
I know we're getting to hurry up, but I got one thing we need to talk about real quick, Tony, and then I'll wrap it up. Factory stocks. Talk to us about the factory stock, the element you got this year. We haven't hit on that yet.
So, we saw these guys coming from all around, and we know that there's a lot of factory stocks in our Texas and Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana region, and we wanted these guys to be involved in this race. They always say, oh, my car can't make 300 laps, or I got too much in my motor, it overheats after 100 laps. Well, come run 50. So we've got the factory stock first to 50. We've got a separate purse for them. You make 50 laps. If you got to make 50 laps, and the first one to make them, we're going to pay you $2,000 if we have more than 24 cars. So it's a cool deal. If you have a factory stock and you're watching at home, you got time. Come on out. We'd love to have you. We run both nights. Our broadcast, the gates open at 5. The racing starts at 7 on the dot. They start right at 7, and we should have this thing wrapped up by 10:30 or so. But if you can't be here, order online. Factory stock drivers, if you're local, get on out here. This is going to be a great event, and I promise you'll be back. And you know what? If you want to hang out in your factory stock, run the whole thing. You could win $29,000 in a factory stock. I've never heard of that before. Pretty crazy.
Not a bad payday. Folks, that's it from Devil's Bowl Speedway here, the historic Devil's Bowl Speedway, 9th annual Lone Star 600. Folks, get out here. You won't regret it. But if for some reason you can't, Race on Texas has every lap live for you all season long in this event specifically. Chris, thanks for having me out here. Thanks for what you do. Folks, we'll see you tonight. Race starts, I'm not even going to say it. The show will start at 7 o'clock. We'll see everybody soon. Thanks.
I've been doing this 35 years, and it's just incredible.
You got 180 cars on the track all at the same time for 300 laps. What can't be fun to watch about that?
This race is different than probably any dirt race you've ever seen.
It's awesome. It's the best race you'll see. It's interesting. It's different. There's action all over the track no matter where you look.
If you can't make it here, guys, watch it live on Race on Texas.
All right, factory stock drivers, we heard you. You're worried about racing your car for 300 laps. Worry no more, our fearless drivers. We just want to see you make 50. Our friends at RaceOnTexas.com have stepped up to give all factory stock drivers a bonus purse for the first 50 laps during the 9th annual FCA Motorsports Lone Star 600. The first factory stock to complete 50 laps each night will earn $2,000. Yes, 2,000 smackaroonies. The purse pays out the top 10 factory stocks each night. All ARCLA Techs and USRA legal factory stocks are welcome. Stick around and run the rest of the 250 laps for another $10,000 each night. Holy schmoly, 10K. No qualifying, no heat race, just 50 laps. My grandma could do it. You are locked in the main event when you register. Sign up now and come race the biggest race in the country, October 7th, 8th at the Devil's Bowl Speedway. It's a race and a party you don't want to miss. I'm going. More details and registration at LoneStar600.com. Let's go.